Interesting. Very interesting. Actually, no, close that.
Yeah, you read the title correctly. Today we're going to be talking about Landmark's exotic car collection, the range day put on by Demolition Ranch donut operator Brandon Herrera, and two Tarkov YouTubers who knowingly squeezed you guys to scam you out of more money, directly lying to your face, and how I took part in all of this and how I'm going to make it right to you guys. If you don't watch the whole video, you really won't understand the story, so please don't write a comment without watching the full video, and I'll try to go through this as fast as possible as your guys' time is valuable. All right, let us begin. So first I need to introduce you guys to Ghost Pixel Media. So Ghost Pixel Media is basically like the best like Tarkov editing service possible. They handle literally everything for you, and it is owned by Frankie B, is what people call him. He's an old editor of Bastille. During like the days of Tarkov really growing, Frankie was a great editor and helped Bastille grow his channel. He went out to go ahead and make his own media company effectively. So we go through here. A lot of people are actually the clients of Ghost Pixel Media, and this isn't completely up to date, but you'll see like Landmark, Bastille. I'm not sure who Big Juicy is. Jesse Kazam, Willers, Gingy, Icelandic Gamer Girl, Bearkey, Ash, Swampbox. So a lot of people work with Ghost Pixel. Now I already talked to Frankie about this. I went over the whole video, what I wanted to talk about, and how I could do it respectfully. So I talked to him about this whole shitty situation, and he really had no part in it. He just had a employee that was really up to no good. For example, he had an employee that was kind of like tracking Landmark's income, his address, like his purchases, exotic cars, things he keeps away from the limelight for a reason. So I'm going to go ahead and redact all that information just out of respect for Landmark and other people due to this shitty individual. And Frankie is at no fault here. He just has a shitty employee. But you do need to know who Ghost Pixel Media is and who Frankie B is. All right, so now I need to introduce you guys to a YouTuber you've all watched, but likely do not even know the name of. And that is Time2 or Calvin from Australia. Now, this is a small YouTuber who edits for basically every channel you like to watch. We're talking Landmark, Jesse Kazam, Tulu, Very Bad Scav, Bear Key, Icelandic gamer girl, etc., etc. The list goes on. You've all watched his videos, but you likely never knew who he was until now. So let me bring out the DMs. This is when I first got the pleasure of meeting Calvin. So this is back on 6/15 of 2023. I stumbled across his YouTube channel and he had really, really good edits. So I was just asking him about that. I stumbled upon his YouTube stream and shot him a message on Discord here just to get to know the guy. You know, always trying to meet talented people. So you'll see we're just kind of chatting shit, not really talking about anything in particular. I do not know this person whatsoever. We have no interaction prior to this. And within just a couple lines here of me once again meeting this guy, he's going ahead and telling me top secrets. You can't tell anyone about this, dude. This cannot leave DMs, bro. Please do not tell anyone. I was like, okay, I understand. You might get the impression that this person is a little bit of a gossiper, right? But we go on and he goes, I'm making this stuff for my new client. This is my new client. So Landmark had actually gone ahead and hired Ghost Pixel Media to go ahead and take over his channel. This isn't anything major, but he went ahead and leaked it weeks in advance just to build a little bit of rapport with a stranger, which is kind of odd. You'll see this person is quite gossipy. And this is when I first got to know Calvin. At this time, he was working for Nice Guy Tarkov. Right before this, Calvin, or Time to, was actually working for Very Bad Scav. And this is when he got his big break and got hired by Ghost Pixel Media, by Frankie B, the person I introduced to you earlier. It wasn't brought to the public's attention yet. So as you'll see in these next TMs, he just said, we're starting in mid-July, so 3 weeks after he showed me that, just to show you the type of individual this guy is. He's just a gossiper. Then he talks more about the company, Pestly's old editor, or Frankie B, as you guys know, and links Ghost Pixel. I just congratulated him, as before he was working for Very Bad Scav, being paid like $5 a video, and it was torture to him apparently. He goes to show me some of the work he did for Landmark. This is when they first start going official and they're making really, really high quality stuff. He made the whole custom AK coming together. If you remember that, you probably don't, but I just said, hey, this is good work. And this is where the gossip continues to go on. I'm starting to know this guy a little bit more. We're jumping in calls quite a bit, and I have redacted a lot of the screenshots here, but he just becomes a massive shit talker of literally everyone and everything. He just hates it. If he's seen you, heard of you, or anything, he hates you for one reason or another. So I just send a short of Stankrat that I liked to him. I was like, hey, this is cool. I like the format Stankrat did here. Imagine Stankrat. Shake my head. I could never. He doesn't even play Tarkov, dude. Why does he have beef with the guy that just eats fucking cheese balls and laughs, dude? Like, I don't understand. He hasn't played Tarkov in years, right? Then, you know, he links me, Icelandic gamer girl, talks poorly about her, links Tulu, which is his current employer, by the way. I'm not a fan of this. This is boring. Too much of a teaching vibe. I'd rather just have a good time and vibe while play. He just talks shit about everyone. You know, he says things about Landmark, like along the lines of Landmark's just fucking lazy. I'm making him all this money. He's so fucking lazy. These things to me in voice chat as well. He speaks poorly about Tulu, etc., saying he's not creative and he's also fucking lazy. He just hates everyone who, and all of them generally are his employers. It's kind of a bad look, right? He just sends me gossip saying you're better than Will or Z, and you'll see it's just kind of like his narrative to gossip about people. You'll see Hayes right here enjoying a video me and Calvin made together, and so he swoops in here. He's always looking for opportunities, but his ego is always getting in the way. He didn't like the response Hayes gave him here of just saying, oh, okay, no, that's fine. I think I know what you mean, right? Probably because I don't know the reason why Hayes responded like this. He just simply was respectful to him, right? And then this is like the response he'll return to that. Swoops in here. He's always looking for opportunities, but his ego is always getting in the way. He didn't like the response Hayes gave him here of just saying, oh, okay, no, that's fine. I think I know what you mean, right? Probably because I don't know the reason why Hayes responded like this. He just simply was respectful to him, right? And then this is like the response he'll return to that. 48K on Twitch, 5K on YouTube type reply. I was really just trying to help him. He just has disdain for literally everyone. You're just respectful to the guy and tell him he did a good job. And that's the type of fucking response it elicits out of this guy. He's just a gossiper who hates fucking everyone. And this is kind of just like the last example. So here he is just fucking crying about single player Tarkov, which is basically a big reason he's employed. Like the way we get like all these like interesting shots and stuff like that is utilizing special camera mods in the single player Tarkov mode. And here he is just complaining about this. Keep in mind, single player Tarkov is largely what he uses to edit and largely why he is employed by people like Tulu and Landmark or Ghost Pixel, and yet he hates them as well. But we don't need to go over more and more gossip. Let's just talk about when things started getting really weird and when I personally started to distance myself from Calvin. All right, so let's read these. So I said, haven't seen you around much, man. I hope you've been well. Sorry, big man. I've been grinding it. Hey, I've been thinking about joining your call, but you're never there by yourself. Got a big trip next week, so trying to get ahead as possible. I was just saying, that's awesome, man. Happy to hear from you. Where are you going? He says, I'm going to Texas, San Antonio. Gonna go bang it up with Donut Operator. Is that how you say it? Shoot guns with Donut Operator. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you don't know how to say his name, but you're flying out to go shoot guns with him. Like, what the fuck is the story on this, dude? This guy's clearly much more important than I know, man. Rolex pays him to wear their watches or something, dude. I don't fucking know what's going on here. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna be hanging with Frankie B. So I'm like putting it together. I know he works for Ghost Pixel here. I'm like, oh, okay. So you guys doing some sort of event there? And they're like, yeah, we're having a fun event with Brandon Herrera Demo Ranch. So they're talking about the range day. You probably saw this right around the start or the end of 2023. The range day, they all flew out, shot a bunch of guns, had a ton of fun. It was put on by Brandon Herrera, Donut Operator, and Demolition Ranch. Great guys over there, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably watch our YouTube channels. And they invited all sorts of other YouTubers, creators, etc. Just go out, have a great time, shoot some guns. That was it. So I asked him, oh, so you guys going out there to network, or why are you and Frankie flying out there? And he tells me he's invited as Tony's editor to film some in real life stuff, but also to get in contact with other tubers. So this is where I realized this guy, he just has no sort of like allegiance to anyone. So Landmark's been paying these guys very well to edit all their stuff. He's now flying them out to go and shoot guns, have a good time, and record it instead of being stuck behind their screen and fucking edit. And they have these plans of networking instead and finding new clients. Like, no, you're being paid to come there to film Landmark, but things just get weirder and weirder. So we find out he's just going to go network and film for Landmark. And so we talk a little bit more, and he just sends me weird shit like, are these army guys as good as they are with in real life guns? I was trying to talk to him how, oh, that's cool, small world. I was just playing with Operator Drewski. I bet he'll be there. Him and Demolition Ranch, the guy behind that, Matt, they are brothers. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's gonna be a great time, etc. He's just saying just weird things like, oh yeah, these army guys. I'm like, neither of these guys were in the army. Like, maybe you should do like a little bit of research on these individuals that are inviting you out to their home to have a great time, to shoot their guns, you know, blow their money, and you're being paid to do it. Like, maybe you should know their names. Like, I don't know who the fuck this guy thinks he is. Imagine I rolled up to you guys. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking shoot your guns. You're gonna fucking pay me. What the fuck is your name? I don't fucking care. Like, what is this angle? It's weird, bro. It's weird. But he just comes back and tells me about his trip, like talking with Veritas and Valiant. He said they're actually cool people. His opinions have changed him. Like I said, he just fucking hates everyone. Says he used to watch their streams, didn't think highly of them, changed his mind. Just, you know, your typical fucking shit talker. Talks about other people he met with and spoke to. We have a nice guy Tarkov in here, which we will talk about more later. And this is when I'm starting to voice chat with this guy quite a bit, and I've actually had to start redacting a lot of stuff. But what ended up happening is Time is an editor on a YouTube channel. So when you're an editor to a YouTube channel, you can actually see the income of each YouTube channel. And so he was an editor set for Landmark's channel, but he was an editor for Landmark, and he started actually tracking and screenshotting and keeping track of all of the income Landmark had and what he was doing with the money, as Calvin felt like he was kind of entitled to the money. Now, keep in mind, Landmark went and picked these guys up from the airport, flew them out from Australia and South Africa.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
I just had my 6-month review.
6-month review?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It
They
means
review your
that
6-month report?
yeah, like performance and everything. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Laid some pretty hard truths down.
Some pretty hard truths.
Truths. Yeah. Doing my job remotely by myself with no other person around me that's doing the same line of work is difficult.
Yeah.
She told me, she was just like, you know, when you first started working and like she's like, I've seen you work and your performance is amazing, like I've seen the work that you can do, but it seems that it's been not the same since you've been remote, because it was also very much thrown at you because you didn't apply to work remote.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, yeah, you know, as much as I loved having the idea of having a remote job, it does suck because there are a lot of communication errors, and you know, it was much easier working in an office where if I had a question I could just ask and she could just tell me what to do, and I was able to get stuff done like boom 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 out of the way onto the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she was looking at the work that I have been doing and it's not necessarily full-time work, so she's probably gonna move me to part-time. And then we talked about part-time for now until I get everything, you know, figured out with my health and yada yada yada. To then maybe
Yeah.
go back to full-time, because she said there's other things that I want to train you on as well, but if you don't feel comfortable with the workload that you have right now, I don't want to put that on you. And I told her honestly, I said, right now I can't. And I said, as long as you're not firing me, I'm okay with going part-time. She goes, yeah, I just know that you wanted full-time because of... And I was like, yeah, I wanted full-time, so I was going to be in an office. I was
Yeah.
away from home. And then she brought up me coming to Tennessee, and I told her, I said, you know, I've thought about, you know, for the past 2 months, I've thought about actually moving there just because it's my job, but it'll also be good for me as well to be in a different area.
Is that where the office is located?
Yeah. Well, then she asked me, she said, well, if you wanted to make that decision and you'll only be down here for a week, which is what we discussed in the first place, she said, I don't think that that's going to help you decide if you want to. So she suggested, and I've thought about doing this too, she suggested me just driving there, and she would pay for my gas and my food on the way to Tennessee. But I would stay there for longer than a week. That way I'd have a vehicle I can drive around and actually have freedom and go around and look at things. I would be staying with her. And they technically work remote as well because the office is now in their house. But they have, like, she has a room for it too. So it's in the basement. So I'll have my own room to stay in. And then I'll have a room to go to for work, which will be nice because I told her, I said, you know, the place that I sit at for work is also the place that I sit at for after work as well, which is also the same room as my bedroom. So it's really not helping me be motivated.
Yeah.
If anything, it's helping me feel sloppy. So yeah, she's like, well, if you did decide to move, she said, when is your time for me? I said, I don't know, maybe like next year, because I don't want to wait too long.
Yeah.
But she would definitely have to pay me a little bit more though, because I wouldn't be able to survive on my own with the money I make now.
Mm-hmm.
If I drive down, it means that I have to bring my own shaving knife. So that was a fun review.
Well, hopefully something good comes of it. That's all I can really hope for.
Yeah. Me too. Because right now I'm struggling a lot. Actually have freedom and go around and look at things. And I don't want